Hi there, thanks for viewing SMB67T. Here we have the BenQ EL2870U 4K video enjoyment monitor with eye care technology. The EL2870U features a pretty minimalist design. There is a two-tone color palette of grey and black, save for the small gold HDR BI Plus badge on the lower right. The bezels are substantial at 17mm along the top and sides, and 24mm along the bottom. The power and menu select buttons are on the underside of the bottom bezel, out of view, although the HDR BI Plus button is on the front edge. Its T-shaped stand is solid, but only allows for monitor tilt of 5 degrees forward and 15 degrees back. You may attach it to a bezel mount, though if you like more adjustability. Connectivity is limited to one DisplayPort 1.4 and two HDMI 2.0 ports. A DisplayPort cable is not included, just HDMI. The only other jack is a down-facing headphone out on the back panel next to the display inputs. There is no USB 3.0 hub, unlike the larger EW3270U. The two inbuilt 2-watt speakers point down. Even when turned up to full volume, they sound thin and distant. It is therefore highly recommended to use external speakers or headphones. It's a far more enjoyable experience even with inexpensive desktop speakers. HDR is one key feature on the BenQ EL2870U. The bottom right of the bezel has a button with a golden badge above it that toggles HDR on and off. After selecting it, an on-screen display will briefly pop out to tell you whether the HDR you are displaying is emulated or native. If it's native, it says HDR on. Otherwise, you will say HDR emulated. The button can also turn on Brightness Intelligence Plus technology. This adjusts the brightness and color temperature depending on the ambient light of your room. There is a light sensor under the bottom bezel that can be turned on in the menu, and it adjusts the brightness and color settings on the fly. An adjust by duration setting slowly warms the color temperature as the day progresses too, which is a feature that smartphones use, and has also been a browser extension for a while now. The idea is to help reduce eye strain throughout the day. So there is a low blue light mode for this purpose as well on this EL2870U monitor. It is an interesting concept, but it's not something I would use while gaming or anything else that requires consistent, accurate color. Why? It adjusts the brightness and color setting on the fly. When the light sensor detects a change in the ambient light, an indicator pops up showing that the setting is changing, and it pulls my focus sometimes. So it's great if you are just doing productivity work though. For gaming, the EL2870U does have FreeSync adaptive sync technology. Now that's great news for AMD users. However, do note it's the original FreeSync and not FreeSync 2, which is kind of unfortunate because this is a HDR monitor. Putting the BenQ EL2870U through its paces yielded some results you would expect from the TN panel. Response time was good, but its viewing angles isn't all that great. Some of the colors are a bit off in the contrast department as well, particularly reds. When the angle is off from center, the colors either go deeper or becomes washed out. Gaming with HDR on was a better experience than watching YouTube on HDR, but not by much. The brightness levels just weren't very good. Having the 1 millisecond response time is great for gaming, but for HDR, the trade-off made in color and brightness level with a TN panel as opposed to an IPS panel just isn't worth it. Playing without HDR on, the 4K image was nice and crisp, and the added ability to use FreeSync is great if you have an AMD video card. But the gaming features on this monitor is a little bit limited. So overall, it's a pretty straightforward experience and nothing too surprising or impressive. Thanks for watching.